It is May 2nd and this is news from the yard. Pretty much the biggest update is just how much rain we've got. It has rained for 3 days and we are loving it and excited to be getting stuff in the ground. The ground's really wet, so you're gonna see getting some worms for composting, just a lot of things that you can do when it's so wet and getting so much rain and moisture, and everything is just blooming out and doing really well. Everything feels a lot further along than it did last week. So you can see kind of I'm enjoying playing in the dirt, and these fingernails do get clean, I promise. I have a special brush for those. Just kind of a little note to ourselves about a fairly early spring plant that we're really enjoying. It's a Solomon seal. We have not grown this before. It smells great. Apparently it's super easy to grow and it looks really pretty. We're enjoying that. So hopefully other people like it too. I think it's Solomon seal. If I'm wrong, definitely let me know, because it's a good possibility. Like I said, I'm unfamiliar with this plant, but apparently it's really super common, grows well, and has just been fun to have around. Little update on the bees. They flew back. Oh, there we go. There we go. You guys hear me? Oh, there's some babies. Let's see if I can get close enough so you guys can see. There's little, that's an ant. But there's some smaller bees coming in and out. They must be not necessarily babies, but newer, younger bees than what I normally see around here. So that's exciting. They accepted their queen and they are just doing amazing. They're doing really well. You can see there's two on here now instead of just one, so they're just doing really great. I'm really proud of them. Look at this. Look at this little jerk. This ant taking their pollen. You are so rude. Give it back. Yeah, that's right. Give them their pollen back. Look, oh, here he comes. He's gonna find it. They're doing really great. They're actually really fun to watch. Here comes somebody with some pollen back into the hive. I didn't think that they would be this much fun, but they really are. It's not every day you get to thwart ants from taking your bee's pollen. I have way too much fun with this stuff. And here's everybody's favorites, crowd favorites, the goats. Here's Milo and Otis. They're being weaned. They're almost old enough that they need to start getting off of milk, which is kind of sad because they're really fun to feed. But this is pretty much all they do, is just eat and eat and eat. Hi, Odie. You want to say hi? The kids have started calling him Odie the goatie. So he's doing really well. The goats are doing great. Say hi, guys. And Rufio thinks that he is a herding dog. He just herds them and runs everywhere and loves them and plays with the cats, and he's like the athletic trainer of the little place. So, oh yeah, see, he's saying hi to the cats. This guy's cracking me up. He was just scratching on that post, but then as soon as I walked over here, he just kind of quit and then sat and posed really nicely like he wasn't doing anything. Like we didn't just see him playing and being a cat. Our cats, they went to a cat behaviorist before they came to us, and they said that they were not friendly, which they're not, but that they would never be good house pets. So they just live in the barn now, and they get to do whatever they want, and it's been really fun to kind of watch them get more and more friendly. So I'm enjoying having these updates. Cat's chasing the dog. I'm enjoying having these updates of just how much more friendly they're getting, and hopefully one day there'll be an update of us petting and playing with them. So right now I am working on planting this big beautiful rhubarb. We got one, someone gave it to us a couple years ago, and it went really well. It got really big, grew wonderfully. They grow anywhere and with rocks. They're just great. So I'm working on, we transplanted it and it's gonna grow here in the garden. And it's really wet out here, so while I'm planting this, I'm looking for these guys, worms for our compost. We're just starting our compost here, so, oh, and the sun's coming out. They're going for mud, but they're still towards the top. They're fine. We just started our compost here, and so trying to find worms to make sure that we have healthy compost going. really excited to find those guys, and I'll just kind of look for a few and then put them in the compost when I'm done. Here the cats are, living their best life, supervising the work that I'm doing. So we have had 3 straight days of rain. There's flash flooding warnings in effect, and we made these planters. We decorated them and hung them up. There's these 3 tire planters. Ignore the rain barrel there. This one, its hook broke. But Caden, my youngest son, thinks that he's a trash artist, so he wants to design things out of found materials and always be doing these kind of art projects out of trash. So we made these planters, and we put drainage holes in them, put gravel in the bottom. Thought, okay, we've got a good plan, except one major design flaw. Like I said, we've had 3 days of rain, and the ground is still, the dirt that's in there, the soil, is still completely dry. So I'm pretty disappointed by that, because that's a major design flaw. So we've got to figure that out. There's dogs and cats running around all over the place. We've got to figure that out, what's going on with those. It's going to be kind of hard to grow anything in there if it doesn't get water. Oh, there goes a cat up a tree. But yeah, gonna be kind of hard to plant anything if it doesn't get water. Definitely need to figure that out so that Caden can grow. He loves morning glories, and they're super annoying. They're beautiful, but they grow everywhere and you can never get rid of them. So we're trying to plant morning glories in these planters and get them to grow so that he doesn't want to plant them in the ground. But we've got to figure that out. We've got to make sure that they get water and what's going to be the easiest way to do that. So that's our next kind of problem to solve. Here's another tire art project. Caden and T made a bench. You can see they wove on the top there. I think it looks kind of dark in this lighting, but this is the bench that we put out by the goat pen so that we can feed them. So we just sit on that and give them their bottles, and it works out really nice. So kind of enjoy their trash art industriousness. This is probably the most exciting part of the yard this week. It's on our rock wall next to our driveway. We've planted blackberries and mint. They're good companion plants, and we just took some hard cuttings of blackberries from a friend's property. They're the thornless blackberries, which supposedly don't taste as good, but for me, I'm just as happy not to have thorns. So we've got blackberries coming up. We're really excited about that. The mint's doing great in here, and there's just tons, you can see, of these blackberry cuttings that are just doing super well. So I'm very, very excited about those. I'm excited for those. We've got some trellising in place so they can just grow and get as big as they want to, and we're super stoked about that. Party over here. Look at these guys. What are they even doing? Nothing, just playing, chasing each other, living their best life. Here are our chickens. I've had a bunch of requests to see the chickens. Everybody wants to see them. Oh, I'm talking and they're not happy with me. Here they are. They're getting pretty big, but we're still going to leave them inside until they're pretty fully grown. But they're doing great. Keenan's teaching them how to eat out of our hands, so they're really curious. Let's see if I'm not actually going to let them eat out of my hands, but look, they come right up to you and they want to. I'm really proud of these guys because we tend to have animals, and I've made this joke before, but we tend to have animals that don't always act right. And these guys are just herding well. You can see them running all together. They're doing a great job and coming up, eating out of our hands. I think that they're going to be great egg layers, great chickens. See them herding? Oh, I'm so proud of them. There's a weird bar in the way, but you know. There's the chickens, and they are doing great. We're excited to get them outside. Their names, they have names. They all have names. Oh, hi, hi, say hi. Hello. Hello. He says hello. So there's Tupac, Shakira, Attila the hen, Cluck Norris, Betty's the little black one down there. She's pretty cute. And then Tyrannosaurus Pex. I think one of them's named is Chickadee. Tristan hasn't really decided on a name for his yet. So there's that. Well, that's it for May 2nd. You got to see a lot of what's going on. It's really feeling like spring. There's a lot in bloom, a lot happening. and I'm just really enjoying this week. I think you got to see most of our animals. I finally put in an update about the chickens. I forgot that last week, so I'm glad you'll get to see them. Everybody except for Shlomo, who's cranky, and Kaiser, who's really old and not really liking to be out and in the middle of things very much. He pretty much just sleeps anymore. So yeah, there's a little update about what's going on. News from the yard, May 2nd at Granja de Canales, the Canales Hobby Farm here.